I'm trying to pose a fairly decent profile picture because often when I upload videos, I don't know why, but I don't have the most flattering picture, like thumbnail. Don't know why. But anyway, I want to talk about the power of social media insofar as its relationship to the users. That is, the people who help build these social media platforms up to what they are. In this video, I'll be specifically talking about Facebook and YouTube because they are the two that I use the most. Um, right, so recently there's been a number of changes that I think bring about this debate or make the contentions valid at this time. If you use Facebook regularly, as I do, you'll know that recently they changed the profile format. So it was kind of that neutral blue color. It's now this very garish white or black. You've only got the two choices. And they had this ridiculous thing where they asked for feedback, Facebook I'm talking about, but it seemed pointless because they're going to go ahead and make the change anyway. They said at the end of September, now October the 1st, we are changing this. Please give us feedback and let us know how we can improve. And I must admit, I give a bit of um, sarcastic response. I said, well, what's the point of asking for feedback if you're going to go ahead and make the change anyway? That's nonsensical. It's actually quite insulting because they're implying that they're giving you a sense of empowerment, but they're not, because they're going to make the change anyway. I do not like this new profile. I find it too cluttersome because you have far too much information on one page, whereas before I think it was more split between the homepage and your own profile page. I really, really don't like this. I find both the dark format and the light format too much. I think it should be neutral. I think the blue was a good neutral option. That's just gone. Now, why they've decided to do this, I've no idea. Um, but I think this gets into a question of democracy. The way I see it is a company like Facebook, which is a giant, over it must be close to 2 billion users now. It's got that big because of people like me and many others, millions of others, who helped build this up, by regularly using it, by going to Facebook over other social media sites. So we have contributed to building it up to what it is, yet we are not consulted. Not really. I mean, yes, we're asked questions, but then they're disregarded anyway because the CEOs of this, I was going to say Mark Zuckerberg, but of course, I believe Sheryl Sandberg and others are also involved in executive decisions. Um, they go ahead and make changes without taking on board what the people who are using the site are saying back to them. And when I posted this, I can't be alone because I got a lot of likes when I said I really didn't like this new format. So clearly there's a consensus there, or at least a lot of people feel that way. Um, so I don't know why they've done it. YouTube. Recently, when I've been uploading videos, I've been getting this message about having to self-regulate content. I understand it to an extent because there is a lot of poisonous information online. There are a lot of things that probably shouldn't be there and really can't come under the guise of free speech. However, this is a murky area and a grey area. So, as a creator, I get questions whenever I upload a video if I want to monetize it. One of the questions is this, and this is just ridiculous. I'm going to read this out. I've taken a picture on my camera so I can relate this. Hateful content, i.e., does your video contain hateful content? Content likely to offend and marginalize or individual or group. This is a collective category they give, hateful content. And they subdivide this. You have to tick one of these boxes. References to a marginalized group that are made in a non-hurtful manner as part of a public debate or comedic context. Content that may be offensive to a marginalized group but is used for education, news, or a documentary. And the third one, hate or discrimination towards a protected group based on race, age, or other natural characteristics. Now, of those three options, the only one that actually is hateful is the third option. So it's just lazy to have the collective thing as hateful content. So I'm in a position as a creator I have to tick one of those boxes. Um, in videos, for example, I might make that are a little bit contentious, or let's say touching on taboo subjects, such as if I'm talking about Black Lives Matter, for example, I've got views on that. I don't like Black Lives Matter as an organization. I feel they're problematic. But, if I'm talking about them, then obviously that will come into the first category. References to a marginalized group, although it's more the movement as opposed to black people, um, that are made in a non-hurtful manner as part of a public debate. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's part of a public debate. I'm not stoking up hatred against black people. But they put this under the collective thing, hateful content. It's absurd. I'll try and show you the screenshot. So you've no choice. You have to tick these things, otherwise you can't get monetized. And I'm ambitious. I want to try and get something out of all this content that I'm putting out there. Um, Other videos don't fall into that category. It would just be like there's a bottom box that says my video doesn't relate to any of the above. It's the way they categorize it I've got a big problem with. This blunt, hateful content. They should change that to contentious content or race related content, something like that. But to just call it hateful content implies that even if you go for the moderate option, they still deem it to be hateful content. This is a real freedom of expression issue, and it concerns me. Um, so these big multi-platform giants, for want of a better term, YouTube, Facebook, they really need to. I mean, I can't make threats like, "Oh, I'm just going to leave them. I'm tired of it. I'm going to drop social media." I can't really do that. I have too many friends on Facebook. I've got too many connections. YouTube, I'm not going to quit YouTube because, I think it would be unfair on my subscribers just to suddenly quit like that, um, in that way. But I'm not very happy with the lack of democracy in these social media giants where they just make changes and they don't really consult the people who helped to build them. And I'll round this up soon, but I'll just add another thought. I also don't like the way social media giants are pandering to authoritarian states like China, where they're self-censoring content in order to please Xi Jinping and his regime. China is a glaring example, but there are others. Um, I have a big problem with that. You see it with other, not so much Facebook and YouTube, perhaps they're blocked anyway, but Google, certainly, Disney. So it's not just social media, it's other big multinationals where they're only interested in profit. So they put aside all considerations of human rights or ethics just in return or of trying to get money off and profit from authoritarian regimes. Total, I should say totalitarian regimes actually, like China's Communist Party. So that's really, really contentious. So at the moment, my overall feeling about social media isn't great, to be honest. And yet, I'm not in a position where I'm just going to quit because I've got too many connections to it. But I'm not happy about it. And if anyone from YouTube is watching this, I don't know if they review videos to see that like we're keeping up with. All I can say is I do everything that's asked of me. I tick all your little boxes, but as feedback, I do not like that you're putting creators into the spot where they're being forced to tick boxes that really don't apply. Hateful content. I never say anything hateful. I might say things that are controversial, but I can honestly, hand on heart, say I never, ever stir up hatred against anyone. I might show contention towards certain people or certain movements, but anyway, you get the point. If any of my other subscribers are creators themselves, how do you feel about this? Or indeed, if you're an active Facebook user, what do you think of the new format? Even if you like it, I hope you would agree that there's a lack of democracy there. I mean, probably you'll get used to it. I've also noticed, and this might be nothing to do with Facebook, Diamond Dash. I enjoy Diamond Dash. I play it often. Apparently, Adobe Flash Player is being cancelled at the end of the year, so I don't know what that's about. I'm definitely going to miss it. I hope it doesn't affect Candy Crush. I mean, I know it's not the great priorities of life, but I've been playing that for years, and I've always enjoyed Diamond Dash. Right, leave it there. Let me know your thoughts. I just think that um, these big multinational giants, they've made their bed. They're multi-billionaires. Um, they need to understand that there will be a lot of people not like me who are not as sort of interlinked with these websites who will decide to leave. Um, and maybe they just need to listen to the users a lot more. Let me know your thoughts.